Hi there, welcome back. We made it. It worked. The redirect worked. At least for us it did. Oh no.
What was that? Did Theo just jump on you somewhere? Poor guy.
So, a couple of days ago, Drew and I kind of touched base a little bit on some conversations we've been happening with you guys and realized that we had let the Rio news out of the bag, like each of us kind of in our own ways. And so instead of, we kind of missed our opportunity to make an official announcement. So we decided to kind of sit down and answer questions because we noticed a lot of questions kind of popping through afterward. Not just about that, but about upcoming litters, kind of what we're expecting after Remy. I've had a lot of questions about, like after the May timeframe. And then we also kind of wanted to explain kind of our reason for neutering Spike, because we realized that he's our stud dog, and so it's kind of a big deal to suddenly neuter him. And so we wanted to explain kind of how that came to be.
He hasn't been neutered.
No, he's not been neutered.
Yeah, he has not been neutered yet. It's just something that we started talking about and kind of started coming around.
Either Heather, Lisa,
and so we reached out.
Jan. Oh, hi, Jan. What? I missed your name. And Anne.
Yeah. Did you go digging your nose into the potty tray, mister?
Actually, I never the microphone was on the computer.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
You'd think it'd be on the front.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. You're calling, or I pull it up on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I don't have my phone with me. Hey, why are you trying to untie my shoe, Mr. Rio? Mr. Rio. And what are you doing over here? No. The Enzo and the Tio Renadal. Kisses. What was that? Was that one of those puppies in the mirror?
Hey, Lori.
Is that the puppy in the mirror?
A lot of our favorite people.
I know. I see a lot of the regulars. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness.
You should have cleaned the pen before doing this.
Well, you did. you worked on it a little bit.
Well, I mean, like new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The deep clean.
Hey, it's okay. We're comfortable enough to sit in here with our puppers.
Oh, I should have just tapped that little thing.
Oh, right.
The notification.
What? Excuse me. Rio de Janeiro.
Oops, that was the wrong one.
Huh? Enzo is very happy in your lap. He's in your. Enzo's
my favorite.
He just kind of posted up there and was sitting there.
That's how it starts.
Oh my goodness, that was this morning?
Yeah, that was this morning. Anyway, we can start with the big thing being Rio.
Being Rio. Yeah, so I mean, everyone's kind of,
we're both getting on the same page.
Yeah, everyone's kind of getting on the same page, and Elizabeth and I were both kind of letting it slip there towards the end. But after about the third family who had expressed interest in
show. Jean, hi.
In Rio, after the third one kind of fell through, that was when we started kind of questioning you know, hey, why does this keep happening? Because normally that does not happen. Usually it's, you know, the first family who expresses interest will then
Well, usually the first family to say, "I want this puppy."
yeah, say I want this puppy, it'll be the ones to end up taking them home, you know, 6 weeks later. Oh, we're playing out, let's see.
Well, move it so that centered.
And we started talking about really the fact that this group of 5 right here were going to be Paris's only litter ever, and we were kind of sad.
Paris, sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
Paris, we were looking forward to her puppies probably the most out of any of our dogs because she embodies everything that we love about Cavaliers and all the traits that we look for in great therapy dogs and emotional support dogs. And so it was a really big blow to have to spay her. But you know, as we've said, we think that it ended up being the right decision in the end.
Yeah, when we didn't have to spay her, but when we looked at the pros and cons of keeping her intact, and if we were to try and have her do another litter down the line, it would have been another C-section. And so
It's more about the puppies.
yeah, and it was more about we're worried about the health of puppies and stuff. Hey. And so that was the decision that we made.
Because I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a C-section on a dog, and just like people just doing a repeat C-section the next time. It won't be as expensive as the emergency C-section on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
But it will, it's still a cost to take into consideration. But we didn't want to, even though that's kind of normal for some breeds, because it's not normal for Cavaliers, we didn't want that to be Paris's normal, if that makes sense. And we just felt like it was starting to leave the territory of what we kind of our vision for raising dogs.
Yeah, what we wanted for Paris, especially because Paris is such an awesome emotional support dog that, you know, if every time she had a litter, we were having to go and plan C-sections. That it's just that, and then there's always the risk of issues for the puppies because you're having them go through a C-section each time.
In the puppy pen.
we are cute and happy in the puppy pen.
We love being in the puppy pen. We just don't get to come in here together often.
Yeah. Hi guys. So then so we were kind of sad about this being Paris's only litter, and that was when we started kind of discussing. Well,
probably fast forward to like after.
Yeah, after
choosing Vienna.
Yeah,
and then like the.
I want to go onto your phone.
After the, I'd say fast forward to like when the
family.
When we decided to keep him.
Yeah, so we started thinking of it.
Oh, it says no connection.
Oh, your phone?
Yeah.
You're
not on the internet, on my phone.
Oh,
I see. Back online.
Oh, okay, there we go. The dogs were clicking your phone off.
They touch things, and then I have no idea what they touched.
So there are a few things like with Spike's some of his characteristics that we don't like care for. And so when the opportunity to kind of say, hey, you know what, we're going to hold on to Rio came up for, the third time, basically, we started really kind of thinking, Rio is going to be, hopefully, and he does look like the best of Paris and some really good traits, some really awesome traits from Spike. And so both of these kind of go together where, we were discussing neutering Spike and then having Rio take his place once he gets a little bit little bit older.
Yeah, we were thinking like because Spike he's served us very well as a stud dog, and his puppies have been really amazing. But there's the issue, the thing that we don't like that Drew's referring to is his very prominent gene for the blue merle trait, because our only tricolor that we have is Daisy, and she also has blue merle in her ancestry, and so when paired with Spike, almost all of their tricolors end up with the blue merle mutation.
Yeah.
And when she had her second litter this last fall, we began talking about replacing Spike with an improved Blenheim. And we are kind of debating, but at that point, we're just talking about either getting a whole new Blenheim or keeping a boy that we really liked down the line. And I think we even talked about maybe keeping one from Paris's litter, depending on how they turned out.
Yeah.
But all that to say, what it kind of came down to is we're just kind of diluting Spike's genes a little bit by adding Paris's in there. And so it won't change the puppies that we've had a whole lot genetically speaking. It'll just kind of mix a little bit of Paris in there.
And hopefully dilute the blue merle down. Yeah.
We checked Paris's pedigree, and there's no blue merle on any of the tricolors in her family. 4 generations deep anyway, so.
Good girl, Minnie. Good girl, Minnie.
And then, excuse me. And then the other thing is that Spike is he's difficult to manage with when our girls are in heat.
Yeah, he's
probably, I'd say, more difficult to manage than typical. Like
he's very
Macchiato is a lot easier than Spike is when our girls are in heat, or when something's going on that's got his hormones going.
Yeah.
And so that was another thing that we were taking into consideration, is that we don't want him to, excuse me, since we have more girls and meaning more heat cycles, we don't want to have another male. We don't want to worsen any sort of aggression that might be kind of sitting latent.
Yeah.
And there's really no reason to keep him intact if we kept Rio. If we kept Rio, and Rio, once we know that Rio is definitely an improved version of Spike, then that's when we'll neuter Spike, and
it's not.
And then he won't be so excuse me, he won't be so
aggressive.
Yeah, he won't have the hormones.
Yeah, he won't have the hormones, and hopefully things will
get Snuggly Spike back.
Yeah, exactly.
Snuggly Grumpy Dog Spike.
And he's been a really, really awesome dog. We're not going to be getting rid of him. He's going to stay with him. He's our pet first and foremost.
Feels like I'm sitting on like the arm of the couch.
Oh, are you? No, you're on the pad too. Well, come close. Mr. Enzo. That is those are my laces.
In other news, Remy is 7 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
And she's due March 6th. So she's got 13 days. I believe we're live streaming her delivery.
Yeah.
I'm trying to gauge his face, his reaction when I said that. After Paris's,
yeah, man.
So after Paris's, we got really dejected because a lot of the reason we live stream deliveries is because, or we started to live stream them, was because we liked to show you guys the raw side of whelping. There's this misconception that dogs can just mate and be pregnant and deliver, and everybody will be fine and happy.
Yeah, they'll do it all on their own, and
Yeah, and there's even breeders that
yeah.
that kind of treat them as though they can just kind of do it on their own and take care of things themselves. And things happen, emergencies happen, and we have protocols that we follow as far as like when to call the vet and when to go to the emergency room. And so I guess during the live stream, during the delivery, when we were trying to determine how serious this was, we were trying to, when a lot of people were kind of wondering what was going on and Paris was in distress and we were off screen, what we were trying to do is, that was when we felt the one paw, and we were trying to find the other paw, and we were trying to see if we could reach that other paw, because sometimes it will just be just up there. And once we realized that that other paw wasn't down, that's when we realized like
crud.
What was a kind of stressful situation just became like a critical situation.
Yeah.
So we're trying to kind of do all of that, and we want you guys to see it, and we want to share it with you, because we think it's good for people to see that these things can happen, and everybody's okay. But Paris, that sort of situation, if she had been left like
if she had been left by herself
in a bar, if we just let her go into labor, like overnight on her own, and whelp them in the basement sort of thing, that sort of delivery, that puppy would have gotten stuck. It would have stalled her labor. What most likely would have happened, like by morning, is the remaining puppies would have passed away, and Paris would have been very, very, very sick.
Yeah.
So during that delivery, or I guess kind of after that delivery, we kind of wanted it to be a sort of like a kind of like a kind of like a cautious, like a
a cautionary tale.
Yeah, cautionary tale.
Yeah.
And
like this isn't as easy as it seems sometimes.
But we had a lot of trolls that came out of the woodwork, as many of you know. And so for a little while there, Drew and I were kind of against doing like that first day, we were like never doing a delivery live ever again. We were crazy to do this. This is why everybody warned us not to. This is why, because all of our breeder friends say we're crazy. But so we also like really don't want to lose the authenticity and the
because we get so many people that
the ability for to preserve those sort of moments. And I think the good outweighs a lot of the bad. We can tolerate a lot of the trolls.
Yeah, we can tolerate the trolls pretty well. And so that's why like for
we can do whack-a-mole with our mods are doing a great job of whack-a-mole. Thank you guys.
Yeah, and then swapping over to the chat being subscribers only made a big difference too.
Yeah, that made a big
difference. But we do appreciate everybody that has given us support and kind of told us that they really appreciate how we do things. But so as far as Remy goes, we're kind of playing it by ear. If it's gonna be late at night, we probably won't stream it. Well, it's just
if she goes into labor at like 10 p.m.
Yeah, well, if it's anything like pom poms, then we'll probably won't stream it. But we really would like to, because we know that we know that families really appreciate having that. We've had a number of families that have picked up puppies from us where they say that they love that they have their dog's birth on YouTube so that they can always go back in time and see when their pup was born. Good boy, Rio. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Come on. Come on, girl.
I love you, Enzo. You can trade Rio for Enzo. She don't even know.
Doubtful, Mr. Rio.
But
Yeah.
I really am trying to live stream Remy's delivery, though. The whole point of that was that, fingers crossed, it will be streamed. I'll talk him into it.
Oh, it's black.
He's saying he. We're just a little gun shy.
Yeah, a little gun shy.
A little gun shy.
I'm doing it again, but
with the bigger team of moderators and the subscriber only chat, I think.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
You were gonna say something and I interrupted you.
I'm not. It was nothing important. It was nothing
I
important.
had something else in mind. On the calendar, as far as credit,
Upcoming litters.
yeah, what we're anticipating beyond Remy, we plan to do another Missy litter. We've thought about maybe doing her with Macchiato, but with Spike and Missy being both the alpha dogs, I don't know if we would even be able to get away with that with Spike even living in our house, because that dog can sniff out anything.
Yeah. He goes crazy if Macchiato just looks at another female in heat.
And he's really partial to Missy, because however he is with all the other girls in heat, it's like that times 10 for Missy.
Yeah. He and Missy, Missy was our first, and then he was the second, and so for the longest time it was just them.
Yeah.
And they were big pals, still are, and so he is very protective of her.
And in the wild too, in dog packs, wolf packs, just the alpha female and the alpha male mate.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting to us then, when we have a pack of dogs with Rio and Vienna, now it'll be 10 dogs, and we make a concerted effort to respect their pack rules, so to speak. What's going on out there?
And then,
easy. And so we kind of suspect that whole that biological mechanism of just the alpha male mating with the alpha female might be kind of at play as to why Spike is so thorny for Missy.
So
and as compared to the other girls, it's like, nah, sure, if they're up for it. But Missy is a different ballgame.
Yeah,
Missy, he will break down doors for.
He will eat Macchiato.
Macchiato is much bigger than Spike, but Spike's got a lot of muscle on him.
Yeah.
Oh, did you leave the UPS code up?
It's just the girls. There's no. The males are out there. He was talking to him as he was coming up.
He always brings them treats.
They have treats for the dogs. It's pretty funny.
Hi, Enzo.
Enzo.
Isn't he awesome?
Yeah. You are going to be a great dog for your family, huh? Jeez Louise.
Your phone has been.
It's all scams.
No.
No, it's okay. Oh, that's
nobody's actually calling me.
Yeah, nobody's actually calling me. I'm not important. It's all right.
No teeth.
No teeth, Mr. Oh, speaking of which, let's see.
Hey, you come see me? You come see me? You come see me? Hi.
So Shalene asked, when is Remy due? You answer that one. Yeah, so it's...
And then as Macchiato starts fathering some litters, we're going to be really spicing up the colors here. What's really, really cool.
Not that it was Shalene who said, I hate those calls. Yeah. Thanks, Shalene. Me too.
The cool thing about the black and tan is when bred with the Blenheim, until we have had a few litters with macchiato, we won't really know. But there's a couple different versions of the black and tan coating where some of them, when bred with the blenheim, the litter will be just the blenheim, half black and tan. And then other variations of it, the litters will come out the blenheim from their mom, and then either the combination of black and tan and ruby. And then there's another one where they can have the black and tan, ruby, and the tricolor.
Yeah, with there
or
is
they could all have all
Yeah.
four. They can have like any like any combination thereof.
Yeah.
And until we have had a couple litters with macchiato and have had a good sample size, we probably won't be able to tell if he's just like a
it's 'cause
black
it's-
and tanner, or if he does black and tans and blenheims.
Yeah,
Or
if you remember your high school biology and doing what were those things called, the graphs where you do the the capital
capital,
R and
the recessive.
yeah, exactly, capital R and little r and all that sort of stuff. And so if I mean the blenheims are the is the recessive gene trait for their colors. So that's why if you have two blenheims that are that mate together, you will only get blenheims, and that's because both the mother and the father, they're both expressing the recessive coloration or color gene. I think that there's like 3 genes involved in their color, but you have the recessive on all 3 for blenheims. And so even though blenheims are, I would say, the most prolific Cavaliers, you see them the most, they are actually genetically the recessive color coming out. So when you have a black and tan, which is basically he's the
ability to show.
Oh goodness! Oh, they're excited. They're excited to see a Remy dog.
She's probably gonna look a little bigger since you guys saw her last. 'Cause
Yeah.
now her belly's growing a little.
Her belly has grown quite a bit. Hi, baby girl. Hey, sweetie. Yes, I know.
She's also gotten a lot more.
Okay.
She's become a lot more passive.
Oh man, she is really like mellowed.
She's not nearly the crazy Remy that we all know and love.
Yes. Hey, good girl. Come here.
She's like becoming a responsible mom.
Yes, she's becoming a very responsible mama dog. Come here. Ready? Yes, she has teats, but they're not ready yet. Sorry.
They probably could get something out of there.
They could. They probably could.
Girl.
Oh, good boy.
Good boy, Enzo.
Good boy, Enzo. Oh, your tummy is gurgling. Why is your tummy gurgling? Oh, hi, sweetie. Yeah, this is quite the belly. Whew. You just toot on me.
You're such a good girl, Remy dog.
Yeah. So, and yeah, like we said, Remy is due in about 2 weeks. Not long now. Oh.
She's such a good girl.
Look at Enzo's tail going.
He's like, why are you playing with
Why
her?
aren't you playing?
It used to be so much fun.
Yeah, but Remy.
That third trimester really blows Remy.
Yeah. Yes, the third trimester is the hardest. It's too funny.
Good girl.
That's too funny.
And her appetite's down. She really isn't feeling well. She's not been eating her breakfast. We have to bribe her.
Yeah.
With vegetables.
With veggies.
Vegetables and homemade dog food from Dad.
Veggies and delicious brown rice and chicken.
Bradley is so sweet. We originally got Remy for Bradley, and I mean she's still kind of his, but he asked us to, no matter what, come get him when she has her puppies, and we were kind of taken aback by this because he wants nothing. He wants us to tell her when the puppies are coming so that he can stay away. And so we were like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Well, he was like, well, I don't want to look at it. And so we were like, well, do you want to be there? You'll still hear everything. And he was like, I can cover my eyes. And so he wants to be in the room. He wants to be there with Remy, but he's just going to cover his eyes when puppies come out. So we'll see how he does. I'm not sure if I think he'll get scared. I think when contractions get tough.
Heavy. So Peggy asks, I forgot who is the father for Remy's pups.
So who is the father?
Well, Macchiato did mate with Remy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So that's kind of the big reveal.
That's the other big secret.
Yeah, is we were able to get Remy and Macchiato to tie off, and it was, since it was Macchiato's first time, it was kind of trial and error.
There was a lot of
trial
because both Macchiato and Remy have very silly personalities. They both were just kind of bouncing.
Yeah,
they're just kind of both bouncing around, like how Remy kind of bounces around with the pen. Like they're both just so excited they didn't know what to do. Dancing around and
horny teenagers. But yeah, that was the big one. We had to, like, so we think that I don't know, Spike's his aggressiveness whenever there are females in heat. Yeah,
the big thing is starting to make Macchiatos.
Yeah, starting to make Macchiatos, making him a little bit worse, and so we really had him. Like we had to have him outside while we tried to get Remy and Macchiato to link up.
Which was another part of another piece that went into this. Another element is that we had originally wanted to mate Macchiato with a mom that Spike had already been with, so that the mom kind of knew what was going on. However, Spike, when Robin and Daisy were in heat, if any of you could hear our house at all, when our girls are in heat, Spike goes nuts, but he goes extra nuts for the girls that he's already mated with.
Yeah.
And with Remy, it was like he didn't even notice that she went into heat. And so that's when we were kind of like, maybe we should use this as an opportunity.
Yeah, maybe we should try to do this. Yeah.
It's like he hadn't claimed her yet,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're right. Spike is much worse whenever it's a female that he is already mated with.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's like then after they mate, they sniff her. It's like there's they establish whose ground this is. Yeah. whose feeding ground that is.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the another little special reveal where, man, fingers crossed, we'll see what happens.
We don't know what kind of puppy is going to be. A big surprise.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what to expect.
We're excited.
Obviously some Blenheims because of Remy, but
yeah, we can definitely say at least Blenheims.
At least Blenheims.
Oh, good girl. Let's see.
I forgot about that secret. Oh, good one.
Yeah, that was a big one.
I asked to go over some talking points before we got in here, and I forgot about that one.
Oh, girl. Let's see. Sorry, Peggy. That's what good, Sue. Macchiato, you are the father. That's who is
Maury.
that? That's Maury. Yeah, that's right. You are the father. That's funny.
Macchiato is such a pretty dog. He is.
Yeah.
He's so pretty. And he's really taken the full 2 years to really fill out.
Yeah.
He's about 2.5 now.
Yeah.
And his fur, his feathering is, I think it's done growing in, but
yeah,
it was still growing in up to pretty recently. And but it's beautiful. It's very full, and
yeah,
he's gonna be so pretty.
Yeah, he's yeah, he's got great fur, just like, and I mean Remy has great fur too. Yeah, she's got goopy. Um, and then he has like filled out. He's gotten broader and just kind of thicker in general.
He was a goofy looking puppy.
He was, yeah, he was pretty goofy looking, but the man
his wonky stage
was pretty wonky.
was really wonky.
But yeah, he's gotten bigger than Spike, just about. And Remy is actually, I don't know how many people know this, but Remy is our tallest dog. And so mating Macchiato also kind of made sense in that regard because he's a little bit taller than Spike. So physically, they can line up a little bit better.
My heart breaks thinking about putting Macchiato on Daisy.
Oh, jeez.
Break her in half.
He's poor thing.
Oh, like, well, when they're tied, our stud dogs anyway, just kind of, our moms just kind of drag the boys around.
By their parts.
Yeah, by their crutches. Or I guess by their bums. Because they're tied.
They're tied off and their bones are.
And so I can just picture little Daisy dragging Macchiato around.
Yeah. This tiny little dog dragging the big one around.
But it just makes us a little bit nervous. Usually you don't want to breed like a bigger breed of dog to a smaller breed of dog. With it, like if they're within the same breed, it's not typically a big deal unless there's a huge difference. But it still just kind of makes me a little nervous when Macchiato is so much bigger than Daisy because he's big for a Cavalier and she's small for a Cavalier. And so it's not just like one or the other.
Joe asks, are you going to keep Remy in this pen where the puppies are right now when she has her puppies? So we'll do the same as we did for these puppies, where once Remy has her pups, they'll whelp in our bedroom in one of the big plastic pools that we use. And then for the first couple weeks until their eyes open, they'll stay in our bedroom in one of those kiddie pools. And then eventually we'll move them out into the corner and then into the big pen, just like we did with these guys. And Remy will be with them as much as she'll stay with them.
As much as she'll stay with them.
Yeah. It really just depends. Like, you guys have seen Missy, where after about 2 or 3 weeks, she's like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, she pieces out.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to jump over this thing. I'm out of here. Where then Pom Pom, we had to pull her out. She wanted to
bribe her.
Yeah.
Steak and bacon.
Yeah, she wanted to stay in the pen with her puppies 24/7. So it really just depends on the dog's personality, whether or not they will stay in there. I mean, most recently, Paris, she did pretty well for a little while until she was kind of like, okay, they're getting too big for me. And then she starts barking when she wants to. Yeah.
They start overwhelming her.
Yeah, exactly. When they overwhelm her, she starts sitting and is like barking, saying, I want out, let me out. Oh, but that's you. Oh, you're such a good girl.
As far as the live stream goes, like as far as an update with these guys and the live YouTube goes, we start seeing puppies go home on Saturday. That's when Minnie goes. Her family will come and pick her up, and you guys can't see her. So she is getting picked up Saturday, and then the puppies just trickle out after that. Enzo goes a week later, and then you can just
Can you turn it? I was gonna say, can you turn it to get? Oh no, it's stupid. There's a bar right in the way. Yeah, I have to push it back a little bit.
There we go.
Oh, that's fine. That's right here. This puppy right here. That's Minnie. She
goes.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't see. She's belly up with both legs kind of like this. Oh.
And Vienna is resting her head on her tummy. Remy and Macchiato's adult weights. Remy is she's probably about a solid 18 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. And Macchiato is
Oh my god, Macchiato probably like 22.
I know. We need to weigh him. It's been a minute since we've weighed him. That stuff all over your belly. That, and your tummy is really gurgly. Do you need to go outside? My goodness.
Um,
Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
What?
Someone was like, "Crew has no head."
Oh, that's
Oh no, Joe's going to be in Maryland the next couple weeks. He's on this. Oh goodness, are you hungry? Do you want some food? Are you hungry? Is that it? You just want to stay right here. Oh, good girl. That's a good girl.
got it.
Is this her stomach growling?
What?
I was just gonna say
It's gotta be.
I can.
Unless it's just digesting.
I hear a bunch of gurgles. Oh, good girl.
You are such a good girl.
So
But about the live stream, so the puppies will kind of trickle out. And in the pen, what you guys can kind of expect in the live over the next week would be them getting ready to go home. We got to do baths, and their meds and their vaccinations, microchips,
yeah.
and then we got to pack their bags and everything. And then kind of as the three go home, Rio and Vienna will kind of be in here as they get a little bit older and as we start introducing them to the house kind of beyond the puppy pen. And by then, Remy's stream will have started. So it'll overlap kind of.
Yeah, it'll overlap. We'll have a good overlap where hopefully there's not too much of a lapse in content of puppies.
Playful puppies.
Yes, a playful, fresh puppies.
I think Remy's gonna be like Pom Pom.
I knock on wood. I hope so.
But I thought Paris was gonna be like Pom Pom.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Oh, gurgles.
Are you? Oh, she is hungry because she didn't eat her
Yeah,
brekkie.
she didn't really eat her brekkie.
Oh, let me get her food and see if she'll eat some.
Yeah.
No, she sits in.
Oh.
The only way to get Daisy to eat like this was if we fed her by hand.
Hey.
Their tummies get so sensitive.
Yeah, and then they just like ladies.
Have you recording? Do anybody?
No, I'm talking about you in the third trimester. Oh, that's it. Oh, but not for you. Not for you though. Actually, you can't eat it though.
Yeah, so she gets puppy food because just like with people, well, we don't eat baby food, but
You want to eat.
like with the prenatal vitamins, we continue the prenatals during breastfeeding, that sort of thing. We feed the moms puppy food during pregnancy and while they're breastfeeding or nursing.
Did you see she came over here to she's like checking them all out while they're sleeping.
She's so sweet.
Remy, do you want your food, sweetie? No? Oh, Remy. Look at these two. Look at these two little beggars.
Look at them. They're sitting so well, too.
I know. Good sit, boys. Good sit. That's good sit.
We always, so I mentioned that Drew and I try to like respect and maintain the structure of their dog pack. And we also need to maintain like our place in their dog pack as being above Spike and Missy. And so kind of how we toe that line is by doing things like when we feed them, we always make them sit. They have to earn their food. Well, pretty much everything that they get is earned. All their anything that just like it would be in a dog pack. They always have to sit to get their food. To go through a doorway, they need to sit. ideally, we try to do this, but can't always. But ideally, we always have breakfast first and dinner first, because the alphas always eat before the rest of the pack. And likewise, we always feed them in order, top to bottom. All 10 dogs,
all 10
top to
dogs.
bottom. Missy all the way down to Pom Pom,
Yeah.
or whoever the latest puppy is.
Yeah.
And so we feed them in that order, their order that they've established. And it's really incredible. Between you wouldn't. Sometimes it amazes me that we have 10 dogs now, because they get along. They're so cohesive. They get along so well, and I think a lot of it is because we let them work out their own problems, and then we don't need to intervene, since we're not just always telling them to stop. They work it out, and then they decide whoever won that argument over a toy or whatever is who gets it, and we don't have to intervene. And then if it gets too out of control, Missy gets involved.
Yeah, Missy's always like the first one. She's like the drill sergeant.
That's a good drill sergeant. Yeah, I call her the fun police.
Yeah, that's another good one. So I think Sue asked, what kibble do we feed the dogs? So this is Sam's Club. I think that the actual name is Exceed, is like the brand name, but Sam's Club has their own, I'd say their own dog food label. It's usually like under Members Mark, if you guys are familiar with that. But so if you were to take, this is the puppy food that they have. It's like a chicken and rice formula. But if you were to take the ingredient lists from Sam's Club's dog food and then compare it to Blue Buffalo, it's like the exact same thing. The nutrition profile is pretty much exactly the same.
I think it is the very same.
Yeah, I think it is the very same. It's really quality and very high quality dog food for the price. Like Elizabeth said, we've got 10 dogs now, and feeding everyone Blue Buffalo would be great, but I don't think our bank accounts or credit cards would would agree with it. So we want to feed our dogs the best that we can, and it is very, very good dog food for the price, and their coats look really nice.
I was gonna say that we have a little way of knowing, because we noticed that before we had so many dogs, when we were giving everybody the premium stuff, they always had really nice shiny soft coats, and when we were budgeting and shopping the sale aisle, their coats were very dull and dry and brittle.
And they're very itchy.
And they were itchy. Yeah, they were really itchy.
They're itchy. Yeah, they're itchy all the time.
So we kind of knew that difference between just cheap dog food and the more premium stuff. And then on the Sam's Club generic Blue Buffalo whatever recipe, their shiny coats came back.
Yeah.
And so it must be good.
It must be good.
You're shiny.
And
you're shiny.
And as far and here's the other thing, is that whatever you can feed your dog, feed your dog. We're not sitting here saying you should give them this or you should give them that. Most dog food is pretty good by today's standards, and
you're not going to hurt your dog by giving them the less expensive stuff if you're on a budget, and it shouldn't cost you more to feed your dog than it costs to feed yourself.
Right.
And some dog foods are really expensive. There's a lot of really trendy things that are out right now.
Yeah, that's
that are very expensive to follow.
Yeah.
And so usually, if there's a medical issue, if your dog's got heart disease or has a predisposition for something like that, then that kind of changes things. But if a super shiny and soft coat isn't high on your priorities, and If you need to budget the dog food, then by all means, puppy chow is not going to hurt.
Yeah.
Science diet, all the like grocery store brands. If your dog is fed, they'll be happy.
Yeah, they should be okay.
They'll be happy. It's not gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the end of the world.
Um,
There's a lot of. I think there's a lot of like in the 2010s there was a lot of like mom shaming, and I feel like now there's a lot of pet parent shaming.
Yeah, pet parent
or like
shaming.
dog owner shaming.
Yeah, like, oh, you don't feed them.
You don't feed your dog this
raw
homemade with chicken and lamb and
Yeah.
puree it and pour it over.
But where I was going with that was, one of the big trends that Elizabeth is talking about right now is grain free. And for Cavaliers in particular, you need to feed them a dog food that has grain in it. Don't do grain free because it's been shown that if you do a grain free diet, that can lead to heart issues. And Cavaliers already
Causes murmurs.
yeah, there you go. And Cavaliers already kind of, I don't want to say they're
they're predisposed to an early onset.
Yeah, it's an early onset.
Heart disease.
Right. Yeah. So it's just better for your Cavalier to have a food that's got some grain in it. It's good for their heart. Oh, yes, it's good for your heart.
Yeah. So whenever families ask us like, what food do you recommend? Our only real recommendation is just to stay away from grain, just to be on the safe side.
Stay away from grain free.
Stay away from grain free. Excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah. Stay away from. Love you.
That's important.
Yeah. Stay away from grain free.
Yeah. Stay away from the grain free.
Oh,
but other than that, saving some money on your dog food isn't gonna hurt your dog.
Yeah, it isn't gonna hurt them. Huh. They aren't going to love you less.
Yeah.
Root furs.
Ooh, you're such a good girl.
Hi, Diana. Yes, Peggy, we do give them treats. We seem to like another Sam's Club. And I would call it a knockoff. What's the name of those treats? Those jerky ones.
The nudges.
Yeah, nudges. Yeah. So
I don't think it's Sam's Club though.
No, there's a yeah. Sam's Club has made a nudges.
Here's Remy not wanting to play with puppies.
Yeah, she's like, I'm tired of this.
This is Remy that nobody knows. Remy trying to get away from babies.
Oh,
imagine that. And so this is why Remy hasn't been in the pen lately, because
she is
hey, sweetie, it's okay.
Very, very pregnant and tired. But yeah, so if you
don't have to play with Theo.
If you're familiar with nudges, Sam's Club also does a nudges similar dog treat, and those are really awesome. Those are great for.
You can break them up into little pieces for training treats, or you can just give them the whole thing to go chew on. She's like, wait, you're playing with him?
Remy, do you need to go outside? Do you need some fresh air?
She's like, I need away from these freaking babies.
Let me go and put her outside real fast so she can.
Aw, what's up, sweetie? Hi.
She's like, oh, I don't want to be in here anymore.
Aw, we need to bring her in bed.
Yes, we do. We need to bring the.
We haven't brought her in bed yet. I think it's time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Theo. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
I think it's time to bring Remy to bed.
Here, Remy. Come on, baby.
Hi. Come here.
Come here, baby. I'll take that. Yeah, who's a good girl?
Oh, maybe we should put some of that gel in there.
Ooh,
let's get her to eat something. She needs.
Why don't you run outside? Oh wait, you need
though. Oh, it wasn't on when I grabbed her.
That's good.
We did it.
I think she needs to go potty.
Oh. Paper.
What's that?
Remember?
Yeah, I was trying to think. Oh, so the.
Ooh, the good boy. Ooh, the good boy.
Oh, looky here, you silly doggies.
Did they open our Amazon for us?
They tried to.
Did
Actually,
Spike mark it for us?
I
Usually it gets opened and marked by Spike.
No, Spike is on outside, but it did get opened. Oh man, I got Remy fur on my face. Ding dong. A little better. There we go.
You want to trade?
That's all right.
Because I look really silly with my feet bigger than my head. Sorry, that's got to change.
Just gotta change. Oh, there we go. Much better.
Hide my feet.
I love ya. I love you. I love you. Oh. Hey, buddy.
Hi, feet. And is it home?
And it was just
He was like,
staring at
oh, you're not snuggling me and rubbing my belly like usual. You're such a good boy. Can't wait for your families to come.
They're going to be so excited. They're going to be so
You
excited.
love chin scratches. So,
No, it says.
I don't know. I was gonna ask you, what was that? I was gonna try to try to collect it again.
You are so silly. Oh man, my
I
tummy's
can
growling.
hear it.
Yeah, my tummy's growling. It's lunchtime.
Which puppy is?
Oh jeez, 210.
So Remy's behavior is that's what you guys saw is that's pretty normal for her stage of pregnancy, and it'll probably just stay like that. If anything, it'll probably worsen. Not worsen, but like she'll get a little more distant. Sometimes they get really clingy, sometimes they get more distant. Until she delivers, and then when she delivers, she'll go into that mama mode. And she'll probably become bouncy Remy when she weeds the puppies. She'll become bouncy Remy again.
Yeah, she'll become bouncy. Yeah,
we won't see her for a while.
Yeah, we'll see the Miss Bouncy Remy. Shoot, I was gonna say something that I forgot what it was. Someone asked for a first-time Cavalier owner, is a male or female better, or does it matter? That's from Anne.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, that is a very good question, Anne.
I would say it really depends what your priorities are.
Yeah, males, for us, like if we only had Spike or only had Macchiato, they're very snuggly. Is that right? I mean, would you?
They're very affectionate.
Yeah, the males are pretty affectionate. Like Spike, when he was young, he was very, very affectionate, and he was a great dog. And females at the same time are really awesome too. I guess it is just kind of your.
The boys seem more laid back and easygoing and kind of like observe from a distance, while the girls are more like do more like cat fighty type stuff. Like Robin and Daisy. And Daisy are
always barking at each other.
They are the best of friends when they're nowhere near the heat cycle. But once they start nearing their heat cycle, and then during, a little bit after, or when they're pregnant,
Yeah, or when they're
or when
pregnant.
they're having puppies.
Yeah, they're very like
Whenever their hormones are going, they
Yeah.
hate each other.
yeah, that's a good way. And whenever they have hormones kind of going, it's they do not like each other. But during the off periods, they're perfectly fine together.
That's probably not very relevant for you though, because they're intact. So
Yeah,
put that aside. The girls, in my opinion, the girls tend to be just a little bit more.
independent.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a great
yeah.
word. A little more independent. Whereas the boys seem to be
A little more clingy.
yeah, a little clingier.
Yeah,
We do have our exceptions though.
yeah. There's only
So it's tough to say.
yeah,
So that's why I said it kind of depends on your priorities. If you really want a snuggly dog, if you are looking for the more submissive one of the group, if you're picking from a litter, 9 out of 10 times it's gonna be a really snuggly dog.
yeah. It's gonna be really
When it's a Cavalier, the more
Yeah.
submissive ones like Pom Pom, it's like they give up everything for you. They live for you.
Daisy.
And I mean, it's all they're all that way, but the more submissive they are, the more they sacrifice. I guess does that make sense?
Yeah,
They put you ahead more of themselves.
yeah.
And so they just make really really great.
And
Like this.
and usually you can tell which puppies are going to be more submissive, really from an early age, like when they are trying to nurse off of mom. The ones that are more bullyish tend to be the more dominant personalities, and the ones that will get pushed off of a nipple and not really fight back are going to be the ones that are a little bit more submissive. And then even when they play, you can always kind of tell which ones are more submissive and more dominant. And the submissive ones are usually very, very snuggable.
Very docile.
Yeah, very docile and snuggly. Um, like Rio is a little bit more dominant. Theo is pretty chilled and laid back. Oh, we have someone at the front door.
Yeah, some visitors.
Yeah.
It sounds like Daisy nails. But I think Daisy's she's in the house. Isn't she?
Daisy. Yeah, she's in. Yeah. So John asked the next next mother and father. So you got Remy, who was just in here, and the father is Macchiato. So fingers crossed, we'll get pretty interesting
Variety.
variety litter and see how that goes. We're pretty excited, and she's due in about 2 weeks. And then after that, we anticipate that Missy will come up next, or like her heat cycle will be next. Hey, buddy. Theo, you've got one of the
Are
prettiest.
we mating her this heat cycle? This next one?
Yes.
We were considering doing waiting 2 or 1. We weren't sure.
Yeah, I think
Not sure if we ever.
she
Or what
is.
we ever.
Yeah, she already had one cycle off, I think.
Oh yeah, and I think we were depending on how much time.
Yeah.
If they have these really short, like 3 months heat cycles, you don't want to just go by the whole you don't want to just go by a cycle count when like Daisy just went into heat. She delivered her puppies the end of September and then went back into heat in mid-January. Like that was the fastest heat cycle we've ever seen.
Yeah, she's
And so,
cycled through it very quickly.
If we had her on the calendar for being like, she's having puppies on her next heat cycle, if the heat cycle came up that quickly, we would not, we would wait on that.
Hey Sue, so you're asking, how can you tell which puppies are right for the parents of the litter, or I'm sorry, which pet parent in a litter? Oh, so usually, depending on this is where the more information we get from people that are interested in the puppies, the better, because usually if you tell us, oh, I'm really interested in a female or a male, I'd like to blend them, or a Ruby, that stuff helps. And then when you tell us like kind of the personality that you're looking for, we can usually tell when they are like I just mentioned when they're on the nipple, when they're on their mom's nipple, how they behave in that pack. Because if you have a group of 5 that are all jostling for the grade A nipple that's got the most milk in it, you can tell who's going to be pretty dominant, who's going to be pretty chill. Um,
You kind of like observe them in that context to kind of translate that into real world living. If you have, like you just described, if you have 5 puppies fighting over one available nipple full of milk, if you translate that over into real world, if we fast forward 6 months and you've got the puppy who always beat out the other puppies, chances are that puppies had to have quite a bit of boundary work and some boundary setting, some limit setting, and because that's just kind of that's the nature of the way it works when they're because of how they live in the pecking order, and then they're where they fall on that spectrum dictates a lot of the way that their instincts drive them.
Oh, I'm just kind of just going through and whichever ones are catching me. So, Lisa asked, you talked a while back about getting a dog from England. So yes, Lisa, that's I kind of wanted to go talk about this. Was
On my wish list with an ultrasound.
yeah, well, that's where I was going with that. So, the our hope and kind of like the our vision for Red Barn Cavaliers is we want to kind of continually improve things, and um, one of them being it would really be nice one day to be able to go and get a dog from England, because that's where the Cavalier kind of gene pool originated. Um, and so if we can find like a dog with some really awesome genetics from England, maybe one day we'd be able to do that. Now, that's being said, it's very expensive, and that there's no way we could do that
It's not in the
anytime
budget
soon.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it's not in the cards really, anytime real soon. But our hope is that we can make these steps to make our the business of raising the puppies and bringing you guys along for the journey better. And Elizabeth has mentioned getting an ultrasound machine so that we can do a little bit of our own ultrasounds to
Our
see
own assessments.
yeah, our own assessments of
during labor. We live out the country, 30
Yeah.
minutes away from an emergency vet. So
yeah. So if we were able, or if we had the ability to use an ultrasound to see what's going on, is this puppy got one leg down, one leg up? What's is the puppy stuck? That sort of stuff. Now it goes towards the health of our puppies and our dogs, and then it'd be a really cool thing to share with you guys. And again, it's an expensive item, and so it's something that we're kind of working towards. And there's all these little things that we look at that like we would like uh, to move towards in order to make our dogs some of the best that you can find. That'd be really. I mean, that's what we like. We want to improve the breed. We want the breed to be.
we're not there yet.
Yeah, exactly. We want to improve the breed the best we can, and make
Prove
them
it in our own way.
yeah make them the best pets possible. Because I mean, they're such an awesome breed. Um,
I'm surprised that there aren't more people that know about them.
yeah.
I'm surprised you don't see them in families, in family dynamics more.
Yeah. like you usually always hear about a golden
Single
retriever.
couples.
Yeah, like golden retriever is always the family dog. Like that seems to be
Yeah.
you know, the white picket fence and the golden retriever.
Or lab.
Yeah, exactly, or a lab. And so you know, it'd be kind of cool to get Cavaliers out there where it's the white picket fence and the Cavalier and the Blenheim.
Anybody confuses Enzo.
So SH Thomas asked, when will you be able to breed Vienna and Rio? So Vienna, it's gonna be, you know, a couple of years until she's able to be bred. Once she starts having heat
You guys
cycles
will
and stuff.
be along for the ride.
Yeah.
You get to enjoy the 3-ish, 4 heat cycles that she has before we can, because that's always a lot of fun.
Yeah,
We can't mate them, but
Yeah.
they've got to wait the 2-3 weeks for the heat cycle to
Or heat
finish.
cycle, yeah, exactly. While all the boys are like, oh
Going
man,
crazy.
hey, she smells really good.
She looks really pretty.
Yeah. And then Rio, so
He'll be about a year and a half.
yeah, he'll probably be about a year and a half or so when he's finally like, you know, fully developed. Because I think that they technically they could, like, boys can do stuff at like
he could, yeah.
yeah, like at 9
under
months.
a year.
Yeah, we've heard of dogs doing it under a year, or boys doing it under a year. But
Well, I've heard girls doing it.
oh jeez. But like, and just to be clear, they are not going to be mating together. Like,
Oh yeah.
we're just you know, Vienna will most likely be
She'll stand in for Paris.
Yeah,
and then Rio will stand in for Spike.
yeah, exactly. They'll stand for Spike, and they'll but they will not mate together.
And so Vienna will be Macchiato's girlfriend, and
yeah, that's right.
and Rio will be the bachelor. Please,
right.
man.
He'll be the big bachelor.
He sounds like a baby. He sounds like a newborn baby.
I know, his little
or
grunts.
you're like,
Yeah, his little grunts. Well, I'd say we probably need to wrap this up because the kids are going to be home from
kick
school.
it over to the regular live stream.
I was going to say you might want to keep it over to the regular live stream, but we hope you guys enjoyed the time and got to answer. I know we didn't answer every single question, but I'm really surprised that the chat was really going fast.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was like because that was the thing. I was like trying to be like, okay, where was I? But we appreciate I'm sorry if we weren't able to get to some of your questions. But we really do appreciate all the support and all the RBC love that you guys have sent our way, especially, you know, and we had Paris's emergency C-section and everything. Thank you for all your thoughts and prayers. And
I'll get him on board with putting Remy's.
yeah, then doing a live for her delivery.
Because let's be honest, you're the one holding it back.
Yeah, well, I'm the big daddy. I'll be the bad guy. But yeah, with
I'm ready to forge ahead.
I know you're ready to rock and roll.
I can take it.
Yeah. Okie dokie. But
all right, I'll switch it over so that it's just its own
oh, you know what?
um,
We'll go back to the just the puppy pen.
just the puppy pen.
Just the puppy pen. Yeah. Oh, kisses. Oh, you're so sleepy. You want to go night, Enzo? Mr. Enzo Ferrari. There you go, bud. Take a nap. I'll go let the dogs in so that they don't bug the bus.
Yeah, the bus driver is gonna. If you hang tight for just a second, when the stream stops, the regular puppy pen one will just auto-populate to your browser. Theo's just been waiting for us to get up.
Whoa. Hey, calm down. Why are
They're like, oh yay! Yeah,
It's
Pony.
Ed Pony.
All right, so in just a second here, the regular puppy pen stream will load once this one pops up. Thanks for joining us.